Hey guys, yeah. How is your Tuesday going?
What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing? Good, good. Yeah, good day so far. Crazy last few days, but oh, Roats, how you doing, brother?
I am doing excellent. It has been a interesting few days, no doubt, but it's also the start of fantasy football playoffs, which
Okay,
is what a lot of people live for, including myself. So
hell
there's
yeah.
that too.
Thanks. So you doing fantasy football too? I'm assuming.
No, I just watch football and watch the highlights. I mean, if I fantasy basketball though, that's kind of ass. It's definitely not as good as fantasy football.
Yeah, for
What's
sure.
your team, bro? I'm curious. You being Canadian.
What's my team?
Yeah, what's
Uh,
your favorite team? Which one are you rooting for?
Whichever one has my best players on. So
I
right now
see.
it's the Bengals, but no, I am a Seahawks fan just due to proximity.
Oh,
Uh,
nice.
I was
Mhm.
previously an Eagles fan as
Uh,
well, but I realized that I was probably never going to Philly to watch a game, so I did switch to Seattle. But those are those are my two teams. But
nice.
I'm pretty agnostic of team. I like many teams, and so yeah, I just enjoy football.
He's
Nice,
he's in it
nice.
for the love of the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Right on. Well, if you guys are here on the show for the first time, welcome. We do this show twice a week. Today, 1 p.m. PST, Tuesdays, and then Fridays at 10 a.m. a little bit earlier. We talk about pretty much everything that's going on in crypto, crypto majors, memes, obviously, NFTs a lot recently. So if you're here from the Boss Man channel, you found us on Twitter organically. Welcome. Let's just go ahead and get started with the Rotes review. My boy Rotes here is going to go over what's happened in the markets the last few days. So you want to go ahead and take that over, Rotes?
Yeah. So the last week or so, we've seen some major volatility when it comes to Bitcoin, just due to leverage positions, and so liquidations happening. Really, these kind of flash crashes that happen for a 10K crash kind of thing, and it's a quick V-shaped recovery, usually within a 1 hour candle, maybe a 4 hour candle. So just extra volatility right now. If you are trading, leverage positions are probably still avoidable at the moment. But overall, the market has been a bit choppy, a bit sideways, a bit red. Some of the profits that we had seen in alts and majors have kind of been given back, and some opportunities across the board when it comes to that. MicroStrategy, at least, is still buying all of our bags, at least crypto Bitcoin bags. 2.1 billion more in Bitcoin. I, 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 I mean, it's part of their plan. But we've had this discussion in the past. Get a little hesitation that they're seemingly the only ones out there buying on a large public scale. So I want to see more from whether it's nations or investment funds, et cetera, to kind of buy into this narrative that MicroStrategy is so invested in. Milady Coin launched yesterday in the range of almost 600 million at launch, kind of tailed down to the 300 million range. I haven't checked it yet here today, but one of the NFT based collections and meme based collections, Pengu is incoming for Punchy Penguins. A lot of hype around it. Could be looking at the billion mark for launch, and obviously some pretty high calculations being done on valuation of the NFTs, etc. I think overall the token and Pengu and et cetera is going to be quite interesting. Magic Eden airdrop here today. It's token wise, seemingly looking pretty good on initial thoughts on it. So look to see how that is. NFTs volume wise is still running very high, very hot compared to where we were. 20 million on ETH, ordinals 3.5 million sold, 2.9 million. So great volumes. I think this is the main indicator to suggest that NFTs are really starting to heat up. And with that, we have Pudgy Penguins up 12% on the day to 23.5. So they continue to plug forward. I think there's probably still a bit more room to move, but we're getting close there with the Pengu token expected by at least year end. So within the next few weeks, Little Pudgy's up another 5%. Rod's also up. I didn't put them on the list here, but they're also up. D-Gods and Utes actually are one of the other ones that are up. Not a lot of collections up across the board. So a bit of hunting there. And D-Gods and Utes, have been down pretty bad with their kind of preemptive move to this kind of meme coin kind of situation, et cetera. I think, if better placed, they could have nailed it. But instead they're struggling. But, maybe with these token launches from other NFT collections, they start to make sense. On the meme coin side of things, notable daily movers, we have AI16Z up 40% to 66 or 665 million SPX, also up to 637. Giga Chad 16% to 605 million Fart coins. So you can see that AI still really prominent in the movers, and then kudos to Giga Chad, one that we've talked a lot about as well, kind of getting some good moves. And then on the prediction markets, brought this one up on Friday, but 110K Bitcoin is now down to 37% probability on Polymarket, down 22% from the initial, I think it was 69% or maybe it was 67% initially. So, a little bit more bear sentiment. I don't think a lot has changed, but it just really does feel like there's a bit of chop here. But, another impulsive move could happen at any point in time. So interesting nonetheless. So that is the kind of news and updates. Let's get on to the rest.
Hell yeah. That was awesome. That was awesome. I appreciate you. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the majors. There's a lot to unpack today. What I like about today's stream is for at least the last month or so, everything's kind of been up only kind of while we've been on stream, especially the majors. So today, there's going to be a lot of what I'm going to make sure to highlight is there's a lot of juicy opportunities in a lot of different sectors. Rhodes went over a good amount here. Giga Chad's going crazy today, obviously because of Coinbase. But yeah, a lot to unpack today. We do have my boy Yon Wick, my boy Yoni on here as well. He popped in.
What's good, boys?
While Rhodes was talking. For those of you guys don't know, my boy Yoni here is an investor and an artist in the music industry. Him and I have gotten super close. He's been really deep in the AI trenches, or whatever, if you want to call them trenches, recently. So super stoked to hear what he's been doing the last few days on that. But what's up, Yoni? How you doing, brother?
What's good, bro? I'm good. Happy to be on. What's going on?
Not much. We're going to go and move on to the majors here. I appreciate you, Rhodes, for sharing your screen on that. Let's see. Share screen. Let's do window. I should be good here. Boom, boom.
Also, everyone listening, make sure to retweet, like the stream so
Yes.
it goes out to more people. Let's get some people in the stream for some alpha today.
Hell yeah.
Yes, sir.
You're good, Bren. I got you. You're on.
Awesome. Perfect. So let's go ahead and go to the majors. The last few days, lots of craziness. Rhodes, what's it called? He said it perfectly earlier that it's been just this move down's been due to a lot of leverage wipeouts. A lot of major corrections on the majors again are going to be due to a lot of people going long towards the top, kind of chasing this usually with super high leverage. Then when price moves a little bit against them or just moves a little bit down, a lot of people get liquidated, which creates these big wicks down, which we saw first in December 5th, and then more so on the other two majors the last few days. But to me, since December 5th, obvious corrective behavior on Bitcoin. This first bounce here confirmed it. And then this bounce we're seeing now either will be the bottom or just a second bounce in what is an obvious correction, to where I think the next few, likely from here, but if not, if we see another move down in the next few weeks, we will move higher. To me, this is exactly what you want to be seeing. We're kind of lucky that we have actually, since we bottomed out in early November, this has kind of been the first major correction, at least the more volatile, violent correction that we've seen on Bitcoin. I think that's really indicative of this move up being very driven by spot, meaning, a lot of times in the past, these big moves up are driven by people longing. But the fact that we haven't had a lot of these leverage wipeouts tells me that this move up has been driven by people actually buying physical Bitcoin. Obviously, mostly probably driven by Michael Saylor and other institutions. But yeah, so I mean, this is kind of what if you're kind of new to crypto, this is something you should be expecting even during these big bull runs. Kind of the price that we pay for these big moves up is nasty corrections. You kind of really want to be, if you're going to use leverage at all, which is not necessary to use at all. If you want to be very particular and kind of wait for situations like this to get long instead of chasing, right? So Bitcoin, I do think either consolidates a little bit more, might make another low, but again, very corrective. I think in the next few weeks, we will move higher, back above 100K, and then much higher from there. And then ETH, same thing, a little bit deeper of a correction. This bounce here today confirms the corrective behavior. Again, we could be seeing the bottom here. Things could just rip back up, or we could rip down one more time again and get another low. But this bounce to me today just really confirms the corrective behavior. And again, next few weeks I do see ETH moving higher. And then real quickly, Sol, exactly pretty much the same setup.
So is the
Just
one
a
I was
deeper
looking
correction.
at. You can tell me, but it definitely has lost a little bit of when it comes to dominance. I think it was close to 8%. Is the one that has gotten the worst out of the three majors, right?
Yeah, and I mean, not surprising as Sol has dominated the last at least this run so far. And yeah, I posted in the channel and probably said the same thing on the stream that day that I do think ETH is going to outperform, at least for the short term. And then since then, Sol has been down, what is this? Close to 25% against ETH. And I do think this consolidation that we got here probably keep going down, at least for the short term. If Sol were to go back up, what I would like to see is some consolidation for a little bit. But yeah, for the short term, you touched on that perfectly. I do think ETH is going to continue to outperform. And what we were looking at Sol, my bad. But yeah, Sol, even though it started its correction earlier than the other two, so it's actually like a cleaner correction on the higher time frames. Low 1 here on November 26th. We got low 2 on December 3rd, and then a super clear low 3. These corrective channels form anywhere between 2 and 4 lows before they come back up. The most common being 3. So this third low, I do think very likely could be it, especially with how strong we're looking here. What I'd like to see is just a close above this corrective channel, and then very likely we're just going to rip back to all-time highs. Worst case scenario, again, we just come up a little bit and then, come back down for a fourth low.
Yeah.
Very
I
correct.
had posted that we might wake to 200, in between 200 and 210. And I think we got to 208. What was the lowest that we got to?
Looks like 206,
206. Okay. So we almost get there. I was like, I posted this on the B3L Discord that I thought Solana was going to hit 200, 210 before it goes to all-time highs again, which I believe my next target was 340 something, 340 something. But yeah, no, 100%. I really like to see this corrected channel, and I think we might be here in this kind of range for a few days while we kind of slowly climb up, because a lot of people yesterday when they saw that wick went too crazy on leverage longs, and they got they learned a lesson, right? You cannot just go too fast when things like this happen. It takes a few days to kind of calm down and settle itself off. So
Absolutely, yeah, great point. I mean, like I said, we've been pretty lucky to not have too many big corrections yet. This is kind of Sol's first major correction since we bottomed out in September. But I mean, we're gonna have corrections like this. If anything, this is extremely healthy. We want big moves up, but then strong corrections for a few weeks because it allows things to cool off. Like for Loco said, leverage to cool off so that we can go up higher for longer, type of thing, right? I'm starting to look at the chat too. Definitely I'm going to answer you guys' questions. We'll look at trust. Stephanie says, let's go, Bren. What's up, Stephanie? PG says, hey. What's up, PG's? Definitely zero profit. We'll look at Fred as well. Fred actually looks really good. But if you guys have any questions, comments, chart requests, definitely leave them in the chat, and we'll definitely take a look at that. But yeah, just to go over some few more things on TradingView, and then obviously you guys can chime in whenever. Polkadot, for me, I do think we're going to see kind of an everything season come the new year, where kind of everything runs at once, where we have AI, memes, alts kind of running. But when it comes to the alts, I think a lot of these alts, there's kind of two categories I'm putting them in, right? There's either the alts that are kind of a rotation trade where people are kind of just trying to, okay, what's the next alt that I can long, get a few X's out of, and then bounce the next thing. And then there's alts that have, older ones that are actually going to survive and go to all-time highs. For me, one that falls in the second category, I'll start to name a few of these. Polkadot, been around since 2021. The founder, Gavin Wood, one of the original founders of Ethereum. And then also, kind of started, I don't think he wrote it, but started the idea for the Solidity, which is the main programming language for Ethereum. Either way, I do think beautiful corrective chart pattern into this like 2-year low. I think very good chance this goes back to all-time highs. This is something where you can kind of hold and buy and kind of forget, where you don't have to worry about this getting rugged, but still has probably 5 to 10x potential from here next year. We got AVAX for the same kind of reason, except crypto gaming's kind of bubbling up, which we will talk about here. And AVAX, Avalanche, the blockchain, is where a lot of these games are being built. The first one being off the grid. I think, hundreds of thousands, tens of thousands of transactions were done on the Avalanche chain in that game, with people playing the game not even knowing that it's being on Avalanche, right? That's very bullish. And then ApeCoin, I do think, is still showing strength, and very, very likely if, this whole crypto gaming thing pops off, Yuga, continues to come out with stuff, could rip a lot higher as well. What was I looking at? And then let's look at ETH Bitcoin. I still think, for those of you guys who don't know, ETH Bitcoin is pretty much measures the strength of Ethereum versus Bitcoin over time. I do still think that this correction that we've seen since December 2022, December 2022, is a correction, and that ETH will rip to all-time highs, the ratio, at some point. Whether it be from right here, we mess around for a little bit. I still think Ethereum, the platform, the main smart contract blockchain, will be worth more than Bitcoin digital money over like the next 5 years, right? 5-10 years. Might take a little bit longer to get there. For that reason, I do think ETH Bitcoin on the lower time frames looks bottomed out as well. We'll see, how long this move lasts. Very well could be some country comes out and buys Bitcoin tomorrow and sends this lower again. But I do think over the next couple years, ETH will rip against Bitcoin strength-wise. And then let me see here. While I'm looking for other stuff, just a few more. Optimism, ZK Sync, and Arbitrum. Another three coins right there where you can kind of set and forget, that I think we're not only make new all-time highs in the next few months, but rip a lot higher over time. And obviously it's a key infrastructure of Ethereum, these 3 coins. So definitely something to keep an eye on. Let me see. All meme coin questions we're definitely going to all address and look back at the chat. Lock in, looking bottom tier. Yes, we'll look at that. Can we talk about Pudgy a little more? Yes, we definitely will hit that when we get to the meme coin / meme NFT stuff, Burrs. Definitely some exciting stuff going there. But yeah, those are some alts right now that are kind of higher cap, but still have 5-10x plus potential, where, maybe if you work a job or something, you don't have time to like be trading, meme coins and stuff like that. Those are something you can look at. Any higher cap stuff that you guys,
Yeah, I got you. Sui, XRP, Ton.
hell yeah. So Sui, for me, probably keeps ripping higher. Usually these coins that perform in the beginning of the cycle usually keep doing well. I do like stuff like Avalanche and Dot more, that have kind of had less of momentum up until this point, that kind of have more upside, I think. But with that being said, I do think Sui is just going to continue to rip. Still relevant. We're starting to see some meme coin stuff starting to pop back up on there with stuff like Lo-Fi and other stuff like that. So yeah, if I had to guess, I do think Sui is just going to keep going up. A lot of these relevant L1s during these bull runs are just going to go up. I do think Ton had a nice correction over the last couple of months. I do like it a lot more than I did when, back in June. And then kind of retesting this low, failing to break. I do think very good chance that this is the bottom here for Ton. Wouldn't be surprised to see it rip, 2x straight from here. So yeah, really like what Telegram's doing, implementing blockchain into the actual app. And then what'd you say, Ton, Sui,
XRP,
XRP?
which by the
For
way,
sure. Let's look at
we also thought that XRP was gonna take a dip here, but it hasn't really moved that much. So
Some news.
They just announced that they
news
can
just came
do
out
their
today,
stablecoin.
Yeah.
Yeah, the XRP ledger, like the blockchain that they're doing, the smart contract thing, like it got approved by some agency or whatever.
Yeah, so they can do stablecoin stuff. It's kind of crazy they're running so hard.
Yeah, for sure. So Doge 2 consolidation, but as long as the market, reverses here, very likely that this is a corrective consolidation on Doge, and I think is really going to have a big moment here early on in the year. Again, the fact that it's still here at 40 cents, only 2x away from all-time highs, with Elon barely mentioning the coin itself, with normies just starting to creep in. I think Doge is is going to rip not just to a dollar but way higher from here. What do you guys think about Doge right here?
I definitely think it's gonna go higher, but I will let Tanksy. I know he has the biggest holdings here in Dogecoin. So
Yeah, what are your thoughts on Doge right now? You adding here, Danksy? You just holding what you have, or
Not adding here just because I don't think it's responsible portfolio wise. I still think it's going to go up. I mean, dude, if we're talking about adding something, XRP looks like an ad. It looks like it can't be stopped in reality.
I see a lot of people actually shorting it. So either you or them, someone's gonna get wrecked here.
Right.
Yeah, no, I do agree. I do like.
I think everyone's going to round trip it, so I think we're all doomed.
Yeah, I mean it's bullish for the coin, but it's because again, these people have like this holding till $500 thing, which why it's pumping so much. But no, I do agree. XRP does have the better setup. Definitely more of a corrective setup. I do like these corrective channel setups more than consolidation, because those of you who've maybe been on the streams, you hear me talk about that. Like consolidation can also is the biggest sign of a major top as well. So it's kind of tricky. Obviously, you take into context everything else that's going on with Doge. Very unlikely it's a major top. But yeah, no, I do agree with Danksy. I do like XRP setup here. I definitely would not be shorting it here. And if it did get another low, if you were trading it with leverage, it definitely a good long opportunity, I think. So yeah, I think XRP is going to rip higher, probably to $3 next.
Right.
Thoughts on Cheyenne? Raf says thoughts on Doge. Yeah, Raf. I assume you probably heard what we just said, but I do think Doge is going to rip higher, bro.
I think Doge. It's a good entry on Doge. We'll pull up Doge again. Sorry, I moved over to XRP so fast.
No, you're good.
The chart looks really strong. If you look on the daily chart, that's kind of what I have normally pulled up. Just the 2-day pullback on Doge, and I mean Doge is one of those coins where, like, tomorrow can be another 15% up day, and then the next 15% up day, and then you're at 50, 60 cents. Right? It's really fast moving.
Yeah, I was showing Yoni a bit a while back, like maybe a week or two ago, that like back when it was down here in like 2021, this one daily candle ripped like 8x, and at this point it was already at like a billion market cap or something. So anybody's been around, that like 2x's on Doge, even at high market cap back here, stuff like that is like doable in a few days. That's why I'm like so hyped on it, and like why I have so much conviction is the fact that we've already at 40 cents without momentum picking up like crazy. I think it's gonna go way fucking higher. I've been treating Doge a little bit like a major. Like I've been kind of keeping it like taking profits into Doge, but a major that I think has a lot more upside in the short term than maybe other ones. Popcat Rakeem, definitely will go over that. In fact, we're about to move on to memes right now. So
you guys play anything for the alts or the alts and majors? You guys play anything on the last, I guess, 2 days of correction?
So me personally, I'm not longing alts. Like my leverage trading, I'm just sticking to Sol, ETH, and I do have Doge and XRP long as well that I've been taking profits on. But as far as the alts, I've kind of had my bags packed for those for a while. I've been adding just mostly to memes and more lower cap gaming stuff. Now, what about you guys? You've been adding to any of the higher market cap stuff?
I've been adding a little bit of Solana here on this dip. I mean, obviously, when you look at the macro, because I know we haven't really gone through it, we'll go quickly, but stocks and futures are pretty much flat. Obviously, we have CPI tomorrow, which might be an interesting data point, but it's been mostly a correction in crypto and particularly in altcoins because Bitcoin is not down much, but some alts and specifically memes in Solana got 35-40% kind of like dips in the last 48 hours. So definitely anything Solana related. If you believe that we're seeing a bull market, there's so many good entries here. So I bought some Solana. I actually bought some additional WIF at 260, so now it's a little bit higher. So yeah, I've been dipping a little bit on the Solana ecosystem because it's the one that has gotten hammered the most. Me personally.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, there's I think the amazing entries right now are on a lot of these memes, which we'll go over in a second. The AI memes and just the memes that have been around for a bit. I'm glad you brought up the S&P 500 really quickly. I do think S&P 500 is very likely starting one of these corrections similar to the ones we've seen in the past in September, since it seems like every month it has some type of major correction. We got one in September, October, another one at the end of October, November, and then another one in December right now. To me, the biggest giveaway and the biggest similarity between all of these corrections and why I have so much conviction on them moving higher while we are in them is the lack of consolidation. Again, major tops. We're talking about tops that are like longer term stuff you have to more worry about. Again, have some type of consolidation up top. You see the last major top on like the last big correction on the S&P 500 was back in 2021. We got consolidation for 3 months here. You notice every dip that we've gotten, so far this year or this fall through now, no consolidation. Maybe 1 or 2 days drop, 1 or 2 days drop, 1 or 2 days drop, 1 day drop. So for me, that's the biggest reason that at least we're going to retest this all-time high. So the S&P 500 CPI again might make it correct for a little bit. But I do think, again, same kind of thing. S&P 500, all assets really that are against the dollar are going to head higher into next year, barring something catastrophic like a black swan, a nuke going off, something insane like that. So yeah, S&P 500 looks good for more upside in the next few weeks. One more thing we probably want to touch on is Total 3. This measures the whole crypto market cap minus Bitcoin and ETH. Kind of measures the crypto market cap of the alts. In general, including memes, obviously, just non-Bitcoin alts. We're getting a bit of a pullback at this all-time high of November 2021. But again, lack of consolidation, choppy behavior tells me that at the bottom isn't in here. I guess we did get 5 days, but that's not enough. Bottom is either in here or we're starting just a bigger correction that in the next few weeks will move higher, and we probably will make a new all-time high on this total crypto market cap here. So yeah. We do want to move on to the memes. Do you guys want to add anything?
Yeah, I got
before
you.
we
I
move on?
bought some bought back into my Bitcoin position through options. I think Bitcoin's gonna. I mean, it's pretty long term options, or I can say 150-day options on Bitcoin.
Where do you trade options, Danksy? Just curious on
Just
Bitcoin.
IBIT.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, just
Bro's
IBIT options.
Professional.
Yeah, just better leveraged Bitcoin position. We'll see. I mean, we'll see how it goes, but it's super long dated, so it's May expiration. So
yeah, that's great. If we can break above 99K here, this consolidation, very good sign that we bottomed here. Also, always a chance that we do come back down one more time, but I think that'd be another good opportunity to add. Real quickly, if you guys don't have anything else to add, I appreciate you adding that. Danksy will definitely keep track of that position. Super. The crypto gaming, before we move on to memes, crypto gaming is just bubbling up here, guys. Hence why a lot of these coins, Super, Bytes, a lot of these coins we've been talking about on the stream here have been pumping. A lot of these big crypto games that have been in development for several years are going to start to come out here over the next few months. A lot of them built on Avalanche, these other chains. So definitely look out for more stuff on that. We're starting to see Super start to go up crazy. Posted that in the channel, probably near lower than $1. Been talking about this in the stream. I think this is going to be a key infrastructure of crypto gaming. So even from right here, I think is going to go multiple higher from here next year. And then I do think Carrot is up as well. Again, coins that we've been talking about, no-brainer coins on this stream. I think we're down a little bit, I guess. Even better. So yeah, Carrot's a nice juicy entry here. It is both an AI and a crypto gaming coin. And a lot of games, My Pet Hooligan, a lot of these hyped up crypto games have already adopted the coin in the chain. So keep an eye on that. And with that, let's move on to the memes, guys. Right on time here. So for me, we've been talking about again, a lot of memes have been down in general this last few weeks before this washout came. To me, I still think Giga's been taken off, obviously, because of Coinbase. It's you can trade it on Coinbase today, almost at all-time highs. But these coins that fall into the category of these cult coins, just strong community coins in general that have been correcting over the last month. The Gigas, SPX, MOG, ticker Bitcoin, lock-in. I still think those, even though some of them are up right now, have the best opportunity to 10 to 100x from here and go to these high-ass market, like these high 10, 20, 50, 100 billion market caps if any of these coins are going to. Giga's already up, so, maybe not as great of an entry. Still think it goes way higher. Someone want to chime in?
It's so interesting, yeah, because Giga almost like moves on its own without caring at all about the market. It's one of those tokens. Like, I don't know if you guys tracked, and we'll get into AI meme coins, but if you guys track Farcoin in the last few days, it was one of the little ones that was up when the whole market was red. But yeah, it's one of those tokens that the communities are just like so strong that they will buy any day. And I mean, I know they got the Coinbase listing, but when we started the same with Mudeng, it kind of like had a little bit of of a pump, but it was a little bit like disappointing, at least personally, to see that it could barely touch previous all-time highs, and then it went back all the way down to the pre-listing price. But I think Giga is one of those tokens that, regardless of the market conditions, will continue to go up just because their holders are the way they are. So definitely very interesting to track.
I mean, it's super Giga Chad move to move against the market,
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. So Rakeem asked about Popcat. So Popcat, again, I still hold the thesis that I love Popcat. I love everything about it. I think it's inevitable to go definitely probably to 5-10 bill if everything gets crazy. I still think a lot of these cult coins, Giga, SPX, because of what Loco just touched on right now, just the crazy, like insane cult-like dynamics that a lot of these coins have. Those are going to start to go to 1 to 2 to 5 billion faster than maybe something like Popcat. But Popcat, I do think, is in a beautiful correction here. This is the deepest correction it's had since it bottomed out in August. Nothing has changed about Popcat from here to where it was at all-time highs a few weeks ago. If anything, the community is stronger. The supply distribution's better. Is better. These are the coins, again, you have high conviction in. You want to be buying these dips, at least holding, ignoring the FUD. Again, super strong coin. I have no doubt that Popcat, as long as meme coins continue to gain adoption, that Popcat is going to rip higher next year. Well, again, Bitcoin, I'll just go over again a lot of the stuff that I've been buying the last few weeks and the stuff that I do think is going to rip the highest the next few weeks. Ticker Bitcoin got rejected at this high again. But same kind of thing as Harambe, which we'll go over in a second. Once it does break this all-time high, I think it's just going to continue to rip to the multiple billions. So would still be accumulating that. Same thing with Harambe. Almost back down at under 20 million now. Inevitable, I think Harambe, one of the most famous memes of all time, in an meme coin super cycle, which I think is inevitable, is a no-brainer. Great entry here. And then ticker Bitcoin lock in. Somebody asked about earlier. Who was that? Raf asked about lock in. Lock in, out of these like kind of cult type whatever coins that I'm talking about here, might be the most undervalued pound for pound at 40 million. I think this is going to $1 billion. Lock in, again, just saying that everybody of all ages says it has time in the game. Beautiful corrective chart pattern. Already 2-3 lows here on lock in. Probably bottomed out here. I've been adding heavily to lock in. I think this is a no-brainer, something you could easily get 10x off in the next 3 to 6 months, probably way more. So yeah, I do think FWOG, which is one that a lot of us been in this stream of love for a bit here.
Bren, you good?
We might have lost Bren. Yeah, Fog looks pretty corrective. Honestly, one of those that
This is
I've
easily
been.
going to $1 billion.
Oh, he's back.
Oh, there you go.
Nice save though for Loco.
I
Yeah.
mean, he said all he needed to say, just easily going to $1 billion.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
No,
you're good.
we just heard that Fog's going to $1 billion.
Okay.
Yeah. And then just really okay, I'm finished on FWOG. I'm gonna go into the AI stuff in a second, but
Wait, we missed like your whole FWOG spiel.
Yeah, confirm. Selling the house, man. I'm selling the house, Bren. You said
yeah,
that
I
it's going to
was
$1
pretty
billion.
much just saying that FWOG is just a great entry here, but you're selling the house here for FWOG?
No, I'm joking. The only thing I heard is going to $1 billion, so that's what I was saying. But keep going.
No, I just think it's a great entry here for FWOG. For to not go into too much, I definitely want to hear your guys' thoughts on current memes. We'll go into the AI stuff in a second, but what is some stuff that you guys have been looking at and buying the last week or so?
Yeah, I actually personally have been buying goat, and I had to DCA because my entry was around 0.6, and I got hammered all the way down to 0.49 at some point. But I've been buying, and now it's back at 0.54, so not too bad. But obviously, I was not expecting this weakness on the, I guess, number one Pioneer AI token slash meme. So goat has been one of the ones I've added. I already have Farcoin, which surprisingly is doing very well. And what else did I buy? Yeah, I added some whiff on this dip, and yeah, that's pretty much what I've bought in the last, I guess, 48 hours. What about you guys?
Yeah, and I do want to get into before we hear everybody else. I want to get into the what's going on in the AI stuff. Super interesting right now. Actually, we did get the top mover goat get dethroned by AI16Z. Which is definitely interesting. I want to talk about that in a second. But Rotes, have you been buying any meme coin stuff, FWOG, anything? You kind of just been sitting on your hands?
Just a little bit of dabbling in on the memes as well. Fart and AI 16Z are two that I've added recently. Otherwise, I've stuck to the high end of the market with MOG, kind of my favorites up there. And yeah, that's it. Fairly quiet at the moment. Just kind of trying to read out where the market is moving, but it feels like anything AI related has been pretty good. But it feels just like it's gotta slow down on the AI side of things, but it just doesn't, and it keeps moving, right?
Yeah, definitely interesting. Now Theodora says, "What's up, Bren? What's up, Theodora?" Jose says, "What about AI tokens?" Jose, we're about to go into that for like 5 or 10 minutes here in a second.
Have you seen the run on Dog, like the runes?
No,
it just hasn't stopped.
Is it already above $1 billion? Sorry.
I think it's always been above, but it's just like yesterday. Okay, it pulled back a little bit, but today it's up 4%.
I thought it was around 600 million to 800 million for a while. I hadn't really been following it, but it's one of those things that it's like, how do you buy it? How do you buy Dog for normies?
You buy it on Mexi.
Oh, okay, yeah, but for those that don't use sexes, like, can you actually buy it on Dexes or not?
You can buy on Magic Eden. I think they have a swap function now on runes, which is crazy.
Interesting.
So, somebody, I want to make sure we get to the chat their requests as much as we can. Somebody asked about Cheyenne. So Cheyenne definitely has still been bleeding. What I'd like to see on Cheyenne here, whoever asked about it, Stephanie, you want to be seeing some consolidation on Cheyenne. I was hoping to see Cheyenne here because I do have a bit of a bag. Took most of the profits on the way up, but week here consolidation we broke. I would like to see another week or two consolidation and then a move back to around maybe 4 or 5x from here to kind of confirm the bottoms in. What I do think it has going for it, Alex Becker did talk about this originally and probably talks about it again, I would think. But, again, just chart-wise, I'd like to see some consolidation for a week or so. And then I bet it has some type of run eventually. Who knows if it goes back to all-time highs, but I probably wouldn't be selling here. You will look at Boli too. Let me see if I missed anything meme wise. Fred. Okay, yeah, Fred and Peanut. For me, on the first run up, I just faded it. I didn't catch it from the bottom, so I just wanted to wait for the first major correction. These first major corrections are just kind of do or die time. They tell us whether there's a real community formed behind it and it's going to have some, staying power, or if it's just going to fade to zero, right? Right now, what I really like about Fred, Peanut, the same thing. Nice correction. Biggest thing is it's been consolidating here, holding this low. As long as we can hold this low, which I think we will. I've been holding this low for about 18 days now. As long as it can hold this low and shift up here, I think Fred and probably Peanut have very likely bottomed out here. They still have some relevancy. I'm starting to see like an actual community forming around it in the sense that people are still requesting it and all that. So as long as it can hold this low here and doesn't completely fall apart, I think the very good chance that Peanut and Fred have bottomed out here. And I've been accumulating a bit since early this month. So, do you guys have any Fred or Peanut or from the past, or what are you guys' thoughts on this?
I don't. No, I used to own some Peanut, but I sold after the listing. I never owned Fred, but I imagine it will follow what Peanut does because it's the same narrative, right?
Yeah. For me, yeah, I still seeing relevancy from it. I could still see some. It'd be an easy Binance Coinbase listing as well. I don't think we should be relying on that. I do think these Coinbase / Binance listings are going to become less and less powerful as more and more get listed. But with that being said, I do think these are kind of like ripe for those kind of opportunities. Theodora says lock-in seems really nice. I don't have a bag on it though. Yeah, I mean, if you have some dry powder, I definitely would look at that. Let's see. Before we move on, whiff gun. I'll look at that really quickly. Whiff gun, crazy dog with knife. What the? With an AK. Okay, it's 26K. I don't know if this is it. Either way, 20. Yeah. So this looks like it got rugged. Yeah. I don't know if this is the same one, but yeah, if this doesn't look too good, probably over.
Yeah, I don't think 26K is my sweet spot, Bren.
Oh, yeah. Okay, what I want to talk about before we move on to the AI stuff and then the NFTs, Milady Cult Coin. So this just dropped, and it dropped at like 600 or 700 million. For me, super high market cap for a meme coin to drop at that. But now it's come down to 234 million. My thesis on the Milady Cult Coin is it's already one of the strongest cults in crypto history, really. Up there with XRP, like even though it's had less time in the game, I think Milady is just the definition of cult, right? And it's in the name. As long as it's not being completely farmed, I haven't looked at any of the metrics behind the scenes. I think this has the potential to be right up there with the top memes. Again, with the cults already there, I think what we're going to start to see is NFTs make coins, whether that be existing 2021 projects or meme coins, or NFTs. They're going to have coins, and then NFT or meme coins are going to create NFTs. And those, like the Pengu, for example, which we'll talk about, I think has a very good chance of being up there with the top meme coins. Same thing with Milady Cult Coin. I do like this, even though it's been coming down. You can see there's bounces, choppy behavior in here. That tells me there's a lot of people buying this despite it coming down. I'd like to see maybe a week or two of consolidation. And then I think as long as the rest of the market's strong, we could see Colt go straight to $1 billion from here, to multiple billions. So
what do you think is this going to do to Retardio, right? Because isn't it like similar or almost the same community? I imagine that is it going to kind of like the liquidity flow from one to the other, or it will lift both of them? Yeah, it's a little bit lower, right?
They're separate communities, and I think they're both cult enough. And obviously the art is a derivative of it, but I see them as two separate communities. And people show allegiance to one or the other, right? They kind of like a rivalry between them. Mm-hmm. Now I do think probably off the bat the cult coin probably goes higher, but who knows? Retardio has more time in the game, supply distribution through multiple 80-90% corrections. I bought a few Retardio cousins and a bunch of Retardios right here the last few weeks. I think it's a no-brainer here as well. So to answer your question, I think both are going to go crazy from here.
Okay.
And then one more. I won't go spend too much time on this because there's not much to talk about. Magic Eden at 5 billion. Is this right? I'm not tripping, right?
Yeah, no, it's right. It's right.
5 billion market cap valuation. I would stay away from this if you don't have the airdrop. Just the fact that it's already at 5 billion, and then people still have a bunch of free money. Usually, the way these airdrops happen, unless they create some type of crazy utility or hype around it, at least initially, it gets there's a huge 50 to 90% correction, and then same thing with meme coins. That's where you see if it really has a real community staying power around it. So even if this goes up, I would stay away with it being at 5 billion. Very likely, probably sees a major correction.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about Magic Eden? Did you guys get any type of airdrop, and what do you think is going to happen over the next few weeks?
I got an airdrop, but I haven't claimed it yet. Danksy, did you claim yours?
You didn't claim yours yet? Why not?
I just been lazy about downloading the app and everything, and I'm not rushing to sell them right now. I'd rather just wait, to be honest, because I just want to see what happens. And I'm thinking that Magic Eden might be closer to like what Blur was versus what Blast was. So if we believe that there's a bull market ahead of us, which I think we're in it, of course, but at least one more year, I think it might go higher just because everything will go higher. So I haven't really claimed or sold yet. Did you?
Are you planning on staking? Because that's probably going to influence if you don't claim.
I might.
So staking, there's a lockup thing. So like if you don't claim, like every single day you're missing out on staking.
See, that's something that might hold it up, but I still think of 5 billion is just crazy valuation. Somebody asked about Shark Cat. It's kind of correcting into this low. I've heard actually some stuff around possible listings and stuff around Shark Cat, like actual credible stuff. Who knows if that happens? But I do think probably bottoms out here. Someone says, "What do you think the chances about Gal, Chill Guy, Beta Play?" I don't really like derivatives, to be honest. I think those are ripe for like farms and stuff, and I would focus on Chill Guy, but I'm assuming you have a big position in Gal, so or have a position in it. I don't know if it's going to continue with Chill Guy. Depends. This chart doesn't look great, but not a lot of consolidation up top. If I had to guess, probably follows Chill Guy back to the upside. But honestly, I would just focus on Chill Guy. There's so much upside in that. You don't really need to go off on the derivatives. But yeah, to answer your question, Wallet, I do think it probably recovers. I would just be careful with whatever derivatives. So I do want to move on to the AI stuff, spend 2 or 3 minutes on that. I do want to see what's up with Yoni, what he's been looking at the last few days. And then we will move on to meme coins. I'm sorry, NFTs. We'll talk Pengu and stuff in that as well. With the AI stuff, though, guys, I think that's where the juiciest opportunities are at right now. AI XBT is one of that Yoni brought to my attention. I had heard about it, the actual stuff a lot, but he really pilled me on it a few days ago. Beautiful correction to me. AI XBT, a lot of positive stuff around it. I do think they pretty much the whole thing is it spits out spits out facts.
It's useful.
Super useful stuff about
and the Twitter. He's so far ahead on the Twitter following. And I think
Yoni, you actually want to give him, a little bit more than me, like a simple 30-second breakdown of what AI XBT is to
I mean, I don't know everything there is to know, but essentially I think he's just programmed in market research, and he's kind of a Chad. So he has that built in. He responds in a way that's super digestible, but it's really useful information about literally anything in every single coin and developer and everything. And when you look at the Twitter following and the mind share that a lot of these guys have been having, these AI agents, AI XBT has been there for a little bit, but you look at their followings, he's wrecking them. I feel like the way that this is looking, it's only his Twitter, I think, only been launched in November. He's already at 90K. I think AI XBT might end up being one of the most followed crypto Twitter accounts. And I feel like a majority of people that might come on later on might not even know that he's an AI agent. They might just follow because it's super useful and they're cranking out all this information. That might be already kind of what's going on. Maybe that's why his following is growing so big, but clearly something is going on here. 186, it might be slightly overvalued, but I would start DCAing in here. I already have a position and I'll probably buy more soon, honestly.
Yeah, I think the AI agent stuff's going to keep moving up. I think at 186 it's undervalued. maybe overvalued for like.
Just because it's brand new and like it hasn't had a major correction yet. But the truth is compared to the rest of the market, I agree with you.
I would call this a major correction for sure, 50%. I would say maybe I wouldn't call it overvalued, but yeah, it's possible it gets another leg down, obviously for sure. Very likely probably bottomed out here, but I agree with you. I like the coin. I think it's going to $1 billion. A lot.
Oh, sorry, go on.
What else, real quickly? What else has going for it? It's on base. One of like the first AI AI agents on base, as well as it's I think the first. Correct me if I'm wrong. AI agent launched on virtuals, correct?
Yeah, I think so.
What were you going to say though?
The two other ones that I was looking at were Alk. Sorry, that is saving my port right now. They're just cranking out apps. The developers just keep cranking out updates. People are creating apps.
Yeah, Alk is great too. The fact it's only at 123 forms these nice, beautiful corrections. They're shipping a lot of stuff, kind of unique. What Yoni and I are focused on too, and what we're really bullish on is the ones that are kind of not just edgy, like funny ones. Like those are kind of a lot of those, but the ones that are unique and doing some cool stuff that not a lot of other ones are doing yet, like Alk, AIXBT. Somebody's asking about Bully. Obviously, you can look at that.
Bully's going through. It seems like there's something keeping the price down, or maybe there's so many other AI agents. Maybe it's having a moment. I think it'll keep running, but Realis is another one that I've been in from like 20 million. It's at like 45 now. It's like essentially these guys. I think they've already like worked on Minecraft, but they're essentially working on like a virtual world where all these AIs can like interact and live. I'm not sure if this has like been done before, but supposedly these guys are pretty based, and it's been like doing well for my port as well.
Hell yeah, let's look at that in a second. Bully, so it's had a bounce, kind of one. This is like its second low. I think all these AI coins, especially the ones that kind of launched a little bit later, are just seeing those first major corrections. The way you want to treat these is like anything. If you want to ask yourself what your thesis is right now. Most people, believe it or not, whether they want to admit it or not, a lot of their, especially newer people, is their thesis is kind of based on the most recent price move and what everybody's talking about, which is completely natural. But what you want to start to do is start to ask yourself, what's your thesis on stuff other than the current price? Like does it have a good community? Does it have potential that normies are going to like it? Are they shipping cool stuff like the AI stuff? That's what you want to ask yourself while these coins are correcting. And historically, the best gains have come from the people that identify the good stuff and have the courage to buy it while it's correcting. So if you really like Bully, you have some dry powder, this is one you want to be adding. You want to start to get yourself in the corrective mindset. That's how you'll set yourself apart versus everybody who just chases hype, right? So I do think like Bully looks really good. AIXBT, obviously my favorite AI agent and where my most concentrated bet is. Zero Bro, juiciest setup since when we first bought it, 100 million. Could be bottomed out here, guys, actually. They're doing a lot of stuff with the Zero-P stuff. Not only is Zero Bro like one of the funniest, the most entertaining, most viral AI agent, but they're doing a lot of stuff with Zero-P, which is like an infrastructure play. So for me, Zero Bro, perfect AI agent play.
Check out
Very good chance.
Griffane when you get a chance.
Yeah, Griffane, I'll look at that in just a sec. But also, yeah, we'll go on the NFT side in a second, but I do think the NFTs are also very undervalued here. So yeah, Zero Bro, if you've been waiting for an entry, this is greater time than ever. So yeah, I'll look at Griffane, as well as I do want to do a reset here in a second. Griffane.
Yeah, that one. No, the first one. Green, like GRI.
Like a giraffe.
That one. The second. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, my boy Bossman actually sent me this the other day. Let's see.
Yeah, it's doing well because apparently they rolled out a token that is kind of like it's like a soulbound NFT for AI agents, and apparently they're gonna do some stuff on e-commerce as well with payments.
Yeah, Griffin was going nuts.
So this thing, I actually saw it like in the first pump, and then it dumped, and I thought it was a complete rug, and then I already obviously didn't have any, right? And it just pumped like crazy. It went from like, I think it was like 4 or 5 million to 200 million. So
Dude, I was looking at this in the face at 14 million, and I was just like, oh, I couldn't believe I didn't take it. I was just watching it blow.
I thought it was a rug at the beginning. I thought it really was a rug, like a farm. And then, just like these things, like just one day to the other, there's an actual team behind it and shipping a product, and everyone gets like behind it. So yeah, too late.
Yeah, Bossman sent it to me. Bossman sent it to me yesterday here, hence why I fucking have this chart like this. But yeah, no, I faded it because I was like, yeah, it's up 10x in 2 days or 4 days or whatever, and then little did I know it goes up another 2x from there. But yeah, congrats on anybody who made money on this. Somebody's asking about GOAT. How could I forget GOAT? Same kind of thing with everything else. What's super interesting is that AI16Z actually flipped GOAT on the way down while GOAT's going up. AI16's been going up. So we do have a new top AI agent or AI meme coin, whatever you want to call it. And I think it's free game now. I think Zero Bro could take the top spot. You know, it could go back and forth. We'll have to see really who comes out on top. But I think that all the first movers are going to continue to do really well. AI16Z obviously got a lot of FUD, and I think it's just another example of, you know, you gotta ask yourself what your thesis is on something. You gotta ignore the FUD. If you think something's going to do well, you know, obviously you could add a great entry on the AI16Z stuff. So whoever asked about GOAT, I think this is a great opportunity, buying opportunity, deepest correction it's had so far. And as long as, I think how Luca Net said it yesterday, like on the stream, as long as the AI sector stays around, very, very likely that GOAT's going to appreciate again. So yeah. What have you guys been buying any of the AI stuff?
Yeah, I bought some
recently.
GOAT.
I know you.
So I'm not very happy to see it dump so much,
That's
but I'm not too far from my break even price. So I think it will bounce quickly. So
Hell yeah. Let's see. Casey, since it's been asked about a few times. And then I'll do a reset real quick. Mark Casey, this one's interesting. Wow, this one all the way down to 6. So I don't really like this chart. When it does this consolidation here, breaks this low here, a lot of the times it just bleeds to 0. You know, this one was on Rug Muncher because of its supply distribution, and, you know, he warned about it. Now, does that mean it's completely dead? No. What I would like to see here is some consolidation. Again, it's broken this low here, which would have been a nice 8-day consolidation. But if it just consolidates straight for 7 days, moves back above this high at about 5 or 6x higher, at that point, good chance it goes back to all-time highs. It's not one that I'm really looking at, but again, I would look for that consolidation there to hopefully moves back up again. So yeah, with that, I don't see anything else in the comments. Moo maybe in a second. But yeah, let's go do a reset, guys. If you guys are just coming on, we have 626 viewers right now. If you guys found us organically on Twitter, maybe you're coming from Bridge 3 Labs group, Bossman Calls group, wherever, welcome. My name's Bren. I've been locked out of my Twitter for a little bit there. You see it tagged. I'll be back here shortly. But yeah, I spent a lot of my time when I'm not trading in the Bossman Calls Telegram, which I built with my my partner Bossman, obviously. Started last year when I partnered up with him. I think we were at 300 members. We just hit, I think, 32K. You know, I think it's a testament to not only, you know, we have great trade ideas, people are making awesome money, but again, it's just we focus heavily on, you know, stuff like this, like these streams, which I do 2 or 3 days in the VC, and then just all my analysis, you know, education, all that. So if you're coming from there, I really appreciate you guys getting on. And then if not, I think the link is there. Definitely check it out. You see all my analysis and thoughts in there. And then we got my boys Rotes, Danksy, and for Loco here. They run Bridge 3 Labs, which is a NFT project / alpha group, whatever you want to call it. There's a bunch of smart people in there from all walks of investing, Bitcoin mining, futures, majors, all these different things in there. Super smart people in there. Check out their stuff. And then we got, like I said earlier, my boy Yoni here, very talented musician as well as an investor. He's brought a lot of great insight, you know, kind of from the AI side into these streams, become a very good friend of mine. So stoked to have him on here as well. Definitely follow everybody here on the panel, retweet, like, all that good stuff. And we appreciate you guys for being on.
Yes, sir.
Let's go ahead. Do you guys have anything, final thoughts on somebody said look at FET. Is FET, I think FET's a bigger coin, right?
Yeah, it's like 3 coins in one.
Well,
You might be able to find in CoinMarketCap actually. Oh, well, over there, yeah.
Yeah, CoinMarketCap's probably the best to do
probably,
these.
or what's it called? TradingView, right?
Yeah, that one too.
Before I'll look at this real quick, but closing thoughts on memes, anything like that. Like I said, guys, I think there's some juicy opportunities in both the Colt and Cute memes and AI stuff. I think really, if you buy any of these stuff that we went over here, I think you're going to be good. Again, just give it a little bit of time to play out. But
Yeah.
if it's dry powder, I wouldn't.
Yeah,
You know,
first things I do when I see a dip like this is I buy, when it comes to memes, of course. If you don't have majors or already have majors, that's fine. But I buy the top meme of the chain. So I bought Whiff and Pepe. I think those are the best ones when you see major corrections because you're going to get, you don't even need to do leverage, right? Because they're already meme coins. But when I see a 35-40% correction, I buy Pepe and Whiff for Solana and Ethereum. So those are my last thoughts.
Absolutely. Yeah, you treat them as almost like majors, but like with a lot more upside. I like that as well. Someone said about FET, I do think it's coming out of a nice correction, similar to the one we got in May. I think it's just going to climb higher with the rest of the market, and probably one of the ones that you can hold a little bit more tight, safely or tighter, more comfortably heading into this next year. So, so with that, Yoni, ALK, AI XBT. What are a few other ones you've been looking at the next few days that people might want to be keeping an eye on?
Specifically in AI.
AI anywhere really, man.
Well, as far as I've been tracking BAO for a little bit. I don't know why. I've been having it on my watch list for a little bit. I've been seeing it pump two like non-AI memes that are kind of random. BAO, BIAO, and Evan, EVAN. I've just been seeing Evan be really strong. And it's kind of like a random one. I don't hear people talking about it much. I know BAO is like one of the biggest Asian memes, and I think that's why I kind of was put onto it. I saw it running for a little bit, and every correction just seems to kind of go higher.
Yeah, I have a position in BAO still too. I think they got Wintermute as a market maker, which a lot of people are hyped on that. Does look pretty corrective. I think it could go a little bit lower, but yeah, I think it probably has this next leg up eventually, and yeah, it does look good on the higher time frames. BAO definitely has a lot of mind share as well. What was the other one? How'd you spell that?
EVAN, Evan.
AN?
Yeah, EVAN.
Okay, this guy, it's like a Pepe character type shit.
Is it like the purple?
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, this one a little bit more tricky because it is kind of consolidating, right? Could be a potential double top.
But it's been showing some strength against his dip.
Yeah, for sure. Again, yeah, it's just when it's in the form of consolidation. Again, you see how it did this year and then came down. It could do something like that where it does that and then comes down more. You just really got to watch it. But to your point, like we were talking about earlier, if it were to consolidate here for like the whole day, kind of at this low. Sorry, were you saying something?
It's kind of 50-50, right?
Yeah, 50-50, but what increases the chances if it were to consolidate, hold this low for like the rest of the day? At that point, good chance that it continues higher. But as you can see, most of the time consolidation does lead to at least some type of reversal. So something I would keep an eye on. Hopefully it does something like this and continues higher.
Oh, you want to pull up a Colt coin, actually? You want to pull up Michi? I feel like there's got to be a lot of Michi holders.
Hell yeah.
It's kind of been lagging.
So, yeah, Michi, definitely crazy that it came back to the all-time high and rejected this hard. But similar to Harambe, I do think it's just forming a bigger correction here and very likely is bottomed or is close. So I find it unlikely it goes all the way back down to this low, and very likely just is just a nasty correction. Probably is bottomed out here. If not, if you get another low, I probably wouldn't fade that.
Out of the Colt coins, which ones are outperforming right now? Just the ones that are getting listings, right? It seems like listings are kind of saving the day for all of these Colt coins.
I wouldn't say saving the day. I would say accelerating the moves.
Accelerating, right? Better off.
But I guess that's just my obsessive mind. But I do think that they're just accelerating these moves out of these corrections. And like I said, I think the listings are good until most coins have them, and then they're going to become less and less powerful. I think more and more people are either going to be trading on chain or using stuff like Moonshot where they have access to every coin type stuff over the next few years. But yeah, obviously Coinbase is going to be massive to the first several coins that get it. But yeah, to answer your question, I think the ones that haven't moved yet, Lock In is the biggest no-brainer. Harambe, Fwog, SPX even's barely moved. Pretty much everything but Giga. And even then, I wouldn't recommend against top blasting Giga even.
Right.
Burrs says, I appreciate the analysis. Of course, Burrs, I appreciate you for being on. We're creeping up on 700 viewers here. I love that. But yeah, any final thoughts on the memes here, guys? I think there's just so many great opportunities. If you have dry powder, I wouldn't be fading these no-brainer dips. But at the same time, be very careful with leverage. I just recommend, I'm very good with this chart stuff. Like I think I'm pretty intricate. I've had like 8 years in the game, and even I avoid completely meme coins on leverage because I think, just they're so volatile. You might as well just buy more of the actual coin when they dip. So definitely be very, very careful with the leverage stuff if you are going to use it. Maybe max 5x leverage. Biggest thing is you've got to protect yourself during this time because there's so much money to be made next year. What are your guys' final thoughts on the memes?
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you on the leverage side. Meme coins are already a leverage product. They're so volatile. I'd rather just play it normally. You're already going to see like 30 or 40% swings anyways. So any one of those will kick you out even on the little bit of leverage. So yeah, tons of great opportunity. There's a lot of things to buy right now that with the pullback in the next run up in Q1 in 2025, I think a lot of meme coins going to do pretty well.
Hell yeah, bro. I appreciate that. And I definitely agree with all of that. For Loco, what about you, bro? Anything, any final thoughts on the memes before you go on to NFTs?
Actually, I have a question too after.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, Johnny. Go ahead.
All right. So one thing, is it bullish or bearish when you start seeing big characters shilling small market cap memes? For example, like I've been seeing Trust Coin and like a bunch of KOLs called it, which is cool because a bunch of people I follow, they have usually they have good calls and stuff like that anyway. And then I see what's his name? Da Vinci, the $1 Bitcoin guy. Like he hopped on board and is shilling it too. And it's like if big characters like that early are shilling stuff, is that an indication that it's going to go, or is that kind of an indication that people are getting paid supply, or like how would you look at these kind of like KOL calls or some of these bigger characters calling stuff?
I think it depends on the situation, right? Like Trust, I would guess. I don't know. I would guess that Da Vinci guy got paid for that because it's just so out of left field. I don't want to shit on anybody's like hustle, anything like that. What would you say?
That's kind of what I'm wondering, like the sentiment behind these things and whether they do play in a factor, whether these.
I think if they're already calling it, I wouldn't. It's tough, right?
Right.
If the only thing you're investing in something is because somebody's calling it, even myself, somebody who has a channel and stuff like that, like you want to have a thesis in it other than that person calling it. But if somebody brings it to your attention, somebody you trust, then you check it out and say, okay, this thing makes sense to me. The chart isn't complete shit. And then you want to buy it, then 100% go for it. So I would say it depends. Every situation is different.
Maybe a risk thing or a tolerance thing at that point.
Yeah. Every situation's different. My dog's fucking barking. Every situation's different, but yeah, I would again, that call or whatever, ask yourself, what they're saying make sense? Then break it down. The trust thing, I do have a position on that. But yeah, if the trust narrative makes sense in general and then Da Vinci's calling it, I would say that's a good sign, right?
Right.
But I think we do need to move on to NFTs. I would definitely want to hear Rotz's breakdown here. Theodora says Braid over from Bossman. Yeah, what's up, Braid? But yeah, let's go ahead and move on to the NFTs. Rotz, are you able to share your screen, brother? I hope he's still with us. Oh, he is. Okay, good. Perfect.
He just muted. Rhodes, you're on mute. There you go.
Yeah, and I'm just, sharing screens, finding mute buttons. That's a lot of coordination that, I'm working on. My mind is thinking a lot about the NFTs and the meme coins and everything else that's going on. Like I said, market volume is key right now. We're seeing market volume that we haven't seen since Blur farming. And Blur farming was just manipulated market activity, incentivized trading, which just really churned down the market and wasn't very positive towards NFTs. Now we've gone into a stage where we're seeing this increased volume. Maybe there's a bit there related to additional activity because OpenSea token, Magic Eden, Me token, that kind of stuff. But none of that is really incentivized by volume at the moment. At least we can tell. It's rewarding past behavior and then rewarding trading on the platform, and in Magic Eden's case, post kind of token announcement. So we'll see on that. But overall, a lot of health when it comes to Ethereum volume as the kind of the leaders on the NFT activity. Ordinals are performing really well, getting a lot of volume, and Solana is still active across the board. So seeing excellent volume. My key indicator in terms of bull market interest and activity is this buyer to seller ratio. We're still under. When this starts to roar up and we're seeing more buyers and sellers, then we know we're really kind of in that full NFT bull market. So we're still under. And a lot of these metrics are almost baseline to where they were over this kind of consolidation period. So outside of volume, there is a little less in there in terms of like full on positive metrics. Unique traders is up though, and that's excellent to see. We're up at 6K, 7K, and this is unique per day, right? So it's not like we only have 6,000 people in NFTs kind of thing. It's how many times a person has traded in a day, whether that's on the buy side or the sell side. But overall, really positive. Where we see that reflected is in NFT floor price across the blue chip index. We're up almost 60% where we were 6 months ago, and of course up even more to where we were kind of in the bare basement of August or early November. So a really good run, up pretty well in USD terms as well. You're just kind of seeing this price move along with Ethereum in general, which is also a really positive indicator. We're not seeing a lot of repricing in NFTs as Ethereum moves up. We're seeing some, but not a lot. Excellent to see. Pudgies lead the way. Pudgies really kind of taken the crown from apes in terms of really being the golden child of NFTs. They have been really for a period of time now, but also getting the attention, also kind of getting this kind of general mind share. And I think there's still room and opportunity for them beyond kind of this Pengu launch. So that's the real good catalyst. But it was all started by apes with this $6 million sweep, and that kind of kicked things off. So all in all, there's this kind of this ongoing catalyst. I'm moving my hands, and I tend to do that as I talk, but like there's this ongoing catalyst of NFT excitement, right? So you're seeing it here, and then you're seeing another pocket move and another pocket move, and I think it's just building up this momentum that we're going to start to see continue into January. And I think that's where you want to be peaked and looking at your areas of opportunity, because as they come, the things will kind of start to move fast. But where we've seen it in the first place is across the blue chips, kind of a flight to quality. And I think that's really important. I'm pausing
now
there.
Before we move on to that, the Pengu drop, obviously, there's a lot of speculation around that. I think there's a lot of confusion, obviously, with having to get the roles in the abstract Discord for a number of projects, right? Like even MOG holders could get a thing. And a lot of people are assuming, that's going to be some type of airdrop thing too. From what your understanding is, the abstract thing, with the roles and stuff, is that separate from the Pengu drop? And do you think there's going to be a separate list of projects that get the Pengu drop that haven't come out yet? Or do you think that's kind of one and the same? Or like, what is your view so far on that?
The understanding is that's towards the community drop, the 25% community allocation. So I would believe that's the case. So claim your rewards that way. And I don't know if there's whether there's more than one token as well. Whether there's so yeah, I think that kind of answers you.
Yeah, for sure. I'm just seeing a lot of like confusion on some people, even from Pudgy Penguin people with Pudgy Penguin PFPs. They're like thinking it's two separate tokens, like it's the abstract token, and then they're doing a Pengu thing. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. I really do like how they're giving it to 25% of the supply to other projects. I really do like that distribution wise.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't be surprised if they just start going crazy with announcements and to give it utility, whereas a lot of these projects just do an airdrop and then kind of just let it bleed out. I wouldn't be surprised if Pudgy's kind of come hard with maybe some developments on the Pudgy world or whatever the stuff they're working on. But I doubt that it's just going to be just the coin and nothing else out of there. I think they're going to at least try to provide some utility to it from the beginning, if based on Luca's history and stuff. But 23 ETH is insane. What is that right now? Like almost 100K,
It's getting there, right?
90K.
They've exceeded all-time high. I know on Friday I said they had, but they have now. The last kind of push when they went for the flipping of apes, they got up into the 80,000 range. And now when we look at them in terms of USD, they are right there.
Now, do we know
incredibly slow right now?
We have no idea like what the valuation of the Pengu is going to be out the board yet.
Yeah, no, I mean,
go ahead. What are
your
thoughts?
If I were to speculate, you're probably looking on the low side. Estimates are about 1.5 billion.
Okay.
High side up in the 3.5 to 5 billion range.
I'd love to see it correct, like to right under a billion, kind of how like Colt's doing, because $1.5 billion just to go straight up from there with the supply, so much of it, having so much free money. I'd love to see it correct, like under $1 billion for a week or two. But I do think Pudgy or Pengu, with the Colt behind the Pudgy Penguins already and the already strong community, I could see it being up there with the top meme coins in market cap next year.
Yeah, and so what's interesting is that when you peg valuations, and there's been valuations on the drop for a Pudgy in the range of estimates of 60K. Now, of course, these estimates always seem like they come in like almost 2-3x of what it actually is going to be.
Interesting.
And so, if you look at it and say, okay, you're getting 25K, that's still a pretty decent return. But it then makes Pudgy's natural value around 16 ETH, which I think still fits. That's if your allocation is in that 20 kind of 20K range. But if it's in that 60K range, then Pudgy's offer a really good discount at the moment to that. So, there's risk. I think if you're looking at any kind of move and play there, you really want to pay attention towards what the believed valuation is. I think Magic Eden doing as well as it has, I think is positive for Pengu and Pengu token in general. So, but to be at 2-3 billion seems pretty aggressive.
I'm hearing rumors of like Igloo. What is it? Igloo Corp. Whatever. What are they called? Like buying OpenSea. Do you think there's any chance that happens, or is that just crazy?
That sounds crazy.
Yeah, it does sound pretty crazy, especially I forgot how much they're valued at during the NFT bull market. OpenSea.
Yeah,
that does sound pretty insane. Now, do you think, to kind of touch on what you said a second ago, I know Pengu's like the Pudgy Penguins, there's obviously some value in there from the airdrop that's coming, but like let's say a Mutant's kind of down at like 3 ETH right now. It's kind of dipping. I'm assuming because everything's dipping. You'd think in good conditions you'd see like something like a Mutant that's probably going to get an airdrop, like kind of going up. Do you think there's an opportunity in like for a flip to like buy something like a Mutant, or maybe something that's more surefire to get the airdrop where it's at, where like the airdrop itself will kind of be worth it to buy it here and flip it later?
Sappy seals on the table,
something like that. Yeah, where I don't know if that how much that's been pumping, but like
yeah,
how much like that would get like a few $1,000 airdrop, or like what do you?
I don't know. I don't know if I'm buying any other NFT for the Pengu airdrop, right? If you're not inside the Pudgy ecosystem, then I don't know if you're trying to make that play for the Pengu drop. If you get an allocation, great. That's just a nice little kind of stimmy bonus. But I would not try and make a move on another NFT collection just for the airdrop, right? There's discounts, I think, in the collections in general. I don't know if it's Magic Eden that's being slow or if it's my internet's being slow here, but there's some, there's discounts in some of the collections as it is on this pullback. I would just look for the pure valuation of the collection. I do like Sappy Seals though. However, we talked about it a bit yesterday as a collection. They follow a similar narrative to Pudgy Penguins in terms of art style, cute, that kind of stuff. Of course, they don't have the the same ecosystem, etc. But I do like them. They're at a pretty decent price, kind of risk reward, and the half ETH range. They could be one that's interesting. But otherwise, yeah, I mean, if you want to take a risk on something like mutants or something on the lower end side of things for an airdrop, you certainly could. I don't know how that distribution is going to look though.
Yeah, for sure. I assume if the Penguins would get like lower end of 20K, I'd imagine like something like the mutants would only get something like a few thousand, if anything.
I'd be very careful because 80% of the time when the pudgies get the airdrop, the floor price also drops by the same amount. So the money doesn't just come out. It doesn't come out from. It doesn't come out of thin air, right?
It gets
not like you're right. It's not like it's $100 and you get like $150 and like you're walking out $150. You still have like you're probably up like $10 or $20, but it's not like.
Yeah, you have to either have to be super quick or you have to buy the pudgy and hold it for like a bigger swing and not be like worrying about like the short term shit.
Yeah.
But definitely risky. I remember seeing that in the past. Something like Azuki starting to go up, definitely interesting. The Remelios after the Colt coin came out, it's crazy that dropped from like 1.6 to 1.2. But yeah, I think a lot of these are at nice discounts. I do think personally, we're just starting to see the first momentum, like Rhodes was saying, from the 2021 collections. And very likely we'll start to see more announcements and start to drive the market up, especially as crypto goes up. More people are going to want to do the flex and put money in NFTs. But yeah, what else has been going on this week?
Giga.
Giga,
baby.
And the Magic Eden token at 550 now. It's doing pretty well.
Jeez.
Yeah.
It has done surprisingly well.
Yeah, I think they have a staking mechanism like you were talking about, which probably is, faring off some of the sell pressure.
I did see an interesting tweet on kind of an analysis of where airdrops typically land. And it's a couple days after is where you might see a bit of a sweet spot, and then after that it's just this slow kind of bleed out kind of idea, and then consolidation before it comes out. So that's what you could expect. Same with Pengu, and then Danksy nails it. It's typically a sell the event kind of situation. Anytime you get the airdrop, that price valuation is always baked in. But not knowing where that airdrop is going to land and how much it could be worth, it makes it a difficult calculation.
For sure. I'm going to go over a few things I've been buying in this week as far as NFTs. Sure. So I think right now, mine is or yours? Mine is. Okay, perfect. Let's see. Do you mind switching over to me, whoever's controlling it? So right now, as far as older collections, I think this week, let's see. How do I get tripping? Hold on. Okay. There we go. As far as older collections, I did buy some like VFriend Series 2, like a bunch of those. But besides that, I've still been focusing on accumulating a lot of the meme coin NFTs, a lot of completely being faded. No one's really thinking about it too much right now. A lot of the AI stuff is where a lot of the initial ones are coming out. AI 16Z, one of the people that does work for them launched these. Now, same kind of thing as the Zero Bro ones. They are getting, I don't know if they got sniped or like they just had people got airdropped or able to buy them super cheap. But it is falling initially. But this isn't an official, someone that works at AI16Z did make these. I do think they are kind of chopping, kind of corrective like. I do think very likely with some consolidation, these bottom out. I could see these. It's hard to value these kind of newer AI these meme coin NFTs or just NFTs in general for me, but I could see these at 10x plus or 10 SOL plus. And if this NFT AI NFT thing meme coin NFT thing does take off here soon, probably way higher. So what I've been focusing on is accumulating a lot of these lower projects that, again, I think once this meme coin NFT narrative picks up, that people are going to be buying. AI 16Z obviously is the top AI agent now. And then I do think Zeroborn, I bought a bunch of these at one Sol a couple months ago. I think these are no-brainers as well. Could be a nice PFP if you're looking for one as well. I do think the guy Jeffy, the dev, is not only going to continue to provide utility to the coin, but the NFTs as well. So I think these are no-brainer. Go above 10. And if, very possibly if Zero Bro does go to the billions in market cap, we could see Zeroborn being one of the top Sol NFT projects. You saw stuff like D-Gods, at like hundreds of Sol last year. Maybe it doesn't even reach that. If it reaches half of that, 50, it's a nice 10x from here. I do think on this next move, we're going to see the NFTs start to outpace the coin pretty heavily. So Zeroborn, again, stuff like Yakub's, just really like strong cult communities that have these NFTs out, that once this NFT narrative with the meme coins picks up, which I think inevitably will, people are going to be aping into. So Yakub's, anybody who knows anything about this, really funny lore, kind of a cult-like dynamic around it. And as far as this meme coin stuff, guys, there's not a lot of meme coin NFTs out yet. That's why I've been going heavily into the Apu's, the stuff that is out. That's kind of been proven. I bought a few Retardio Cousins the other day. Pretty, pricey, 5K for an NFT already this low. But I do think these are going way higher. Stuff like the Luces, obviously the Lucy's. Maybe the art's not the best on this. But again, based around a cult meme coin community that I think people will start aping into this once this narrative catches on. And then if we quickly go over to the ETH versions of the meme coin NFTs, you have stuff like the Project Aeon Sprotos at two ETH, but they've been holding this low for 2 or 3 weeks now. I think we've seen the bottom of Sprotos, stuff like Aeons, Vermilio babies. So yeah, if you're looking to get in on this meme coin NFT narrative, but maybe have only a few $100s, maybe start to look at stuff like Apu, like I said, the Yakubs and stuff like that. But yeah, what do you guys, anything else on NFTs?
I was going to say the one interesting dichotomy that we see with meme coin NFTs in relationship to what was typically successful in NFTs in the past was a degree of success in a quality NFT in terms of art and differentiation, etc. A lot of those meme coin NFTs don't check those boxes, and that's one part that I still struggle with. That's where Sprotos still works and still hits, is because of the strong primary colors. I think it works really well as an NFT, but also a PFP, which can then enhance that community feel. So that's my only hesitation. So I think what I would really look for is an NFT that comes out, and a meme coin NFT that has something that really fits in terms of a PFP. Even something like Zeroborn, a little washed out. It still works. It's more PFP-able than most, but that's something that's interesting to me.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I do think overall a lot of it has to do with it, just the community way. And I do think community, like stuff like the Luces, I think they're still going to go crazy. The art's kind of basic, but a lot of it has to do with community. But I do think, yeah, like you said, ones that come out that have both a strong community and the art's really sick, I think are going to do crazy. One where maybe the art, whatever, say you ever you want about this, super strong community that people are just like rating like crazy, gives me like early, like, dare I say, like Mog vibes or like stuff like that with just the rating. Stuff like Hedge, and they do have an NFT, the Hedgens. I do think just began because of the cult dynamics of this, this alone. This might be a good buy to buy a few of these heading into next year. But yeah, what else NFT wise has gone on? I do know obviously the Pengu stuff. Anything else that's gone on this week? Anything that we're missing?
Not that I can think of.
But yeah, I think we're hitting the quiet, like the calm before the storm with the NFT stuff specifically. Especially with the meme coin NFT stuff. I think you can get stuff that are literally at like pennies right now compared to where they're going to be. So good risk to reward bets as we go there. But Rotes, anything else NFT wise, brother?
No, and I mean, you kind of dialed it there at the end there. That the risk reward on them is quite interesting. Your downside on some of these isn't quite as volatile as what you're going to see on the meme coin side of things. So, if you're looking at following a narrative on there, or if you're following a community, I think a lot of interest and success is still yet to come to the NFT market. So, yeah.
Hell yeah. At 859 viewers right now. If you guys are catching us at the end of this here, we are going to wrap it up in a few minutes. So if you guys have any questions, comments, anything in there, definitely drop them off before we get on. But yeah, if you came in here the last few minutes, we do this show twice a week, actually. Tuesdays at 1 p.m. PST like we did today, and then Fridays as well at 10 a.m. We give our thoughts and talk about everything that's going on in Web3 and crypto. When it comes to the majors, we got our NFT designated NFT stats guy with Rotes. We got, talk about everything that's going on in Web3. Definitely check out all the people on the panel. We're all tagged up there. We definitely check out Bridge 3 Labs, which for now we are running this stream through. My boy Yoni as well. Follow everybody on the panel. Let's see. I don't see anything else in the chat. Any final thoughts from any of you guys?
Buy the dip.
Right. I was just about to say maybe buy.
Yeah. I think this is one of a good time where, again, all the positive catalysts are in front of us, like no negative catalysts with prices down crazy like this. Like this is the best risk to reward time to buy, in general. So I definitely agree with that sentiment. Buy your conviction bags. I do think this is the calm before the storm. If we somehow get a couple weeks of like discounts here, you get a little bit of a holiday discount or some shit like that. Maybe think about buying the dip. Because I think next year's where it gets crazy. So, what do you guys think? Any final thoughts besides that?
No, I'll see you guys on Friday.
Hell yeah. Another great show. I appreciate you guys all for coming on. As we get closer to the year, we're going to improve the quality of this stream. Everybody on here is going to have a face cam, mics, all that come the new year. So excited for that. If you guys have any suggestions, biggest thing is we're trying to make these streams more interactive to get you guys involved, which we've tried to do. I think we did a great job of today. But anything else you think we can improve, leave it in the comments, DM Bridge 3 Labs or myself, whoever. And I appreciate you guys for being on. See you on